Hello friends, today I am going to talk about the key stages of successful selling. I felt the need of this video because selling technology products or services require different selling technique. And if you do not practice those techniques, then your sales outcome might not be fruitful. So friends, before I move further as part of this discussion, let me give you a quick introduction. Friends, I am N.K Singh. I am an IT professional with 20 plus years of experience in IT industry. As part of my 20 years of experience, I have established IT services businesses from scratch for my two employers. I not only established those businesses, I also grew them remarkably up to the great level of success. I am also author of these two books. The books on the left side of the screen will be helpful to those people who are still working in individual contributor role but having an aspiration to get into leadership role. The book on the right side of the screen will be helpful to those managers who are good managers but having a desire to be great leader, or the managers who want to get into leadership role in years to come. Friends, both these books are available on Amazon in India, Europe, Canada, and US. Having said that, let's move to the real part of our discussion, that is the key stages of successful selling process. So friends, any technology discussion goes through four key stages consciously or unconsciously. I mean, the moment you start any technology selling discussion with any of your prospect customer, knowingly or unknowingly, you go through all these four stages. So as part of this video, I will be talking about each of these four stages, and I will also be emphasizing some do's and don'ts so that you can take care of those do's and don'ts and ensure the expected outcome at the end of the sales process. Having said that, let's move to the very first stage that you will come across while starting discussion with your prospect customer. So friends, the moment you start your discussion with your prospect customer as a technology seller, then you happen to be in this particular stage, and I call this stage ice breaking. This is the very first stage you get into the moment you start discussion with any prospect technology buyer. In this process, you should have only one objective, that is to build the rapport with the customer so that you can have a comfortable atmosphere to carry on with the rest of the discussion. So you should start this particular stage by having some casual discussion with your customers so that you can create a comfortable atmosphere to have rest of the discussion during this phase. You should also briefly introduce yourself without getting into too much of detail. You should talk about yourself and your business organization so that your prospect customer can have good level of understanding about you and your business organization, your service offerings, your weaknesses and strengths. You should also ask your customer to introduce themselves as well. While your customer will be talking, you should try to identify some shared experiences, challenges, or goals so that you can later on use that information to establish some personal connection with them. Establishing personal connection is not a momentarily thing. It is not a thing that will happen all of a sudden. It takes time. But for that, you need to have certain information. You should have information about the likes and dislikes, preferences, priorities, lifestyle, background of your prospect customers. If you have those information in place, then utilizing some of the information, you can make efforts to establish some personal connection with those people, to be personalized with those people. So that's why I'm saying, while your customer is talking, try to grab certain information so that you can use those information to establish personal relationship, personal connection with those prospect customers. You should, during this particular phase, you should use customer-centric and confident communication to make the very first impression as good as you can. Here you can, while talking to your prospect customer, you should make quick reference to your organization vision and mission statement. You can also talk about your value statements relevant to your service offerings so that you can win the trust of your customer by conveying them a message that they are at a very right place and they are at a very right place, and if they do business with your organization, their problems or their aspirations will be taken care of. During this entire discussion, you need to be on video. Many people make a mistake here. They follow their prospect customer. If the prospect customers are not on video or not coming on video, they also do not come on video. This is the biggest mistake salespeople make while having meeting with any of the prospect customer very first time. So your customer may or may not come on video, but you must be on video with a very good looking professional appearance and background. So friends, these are the things you should take care of while talking to your customer or while communicating with your customer during the very first stage of technology selling discussion. Now some of the things that you should avoid, and the very first thing you should avoid is you should not spend too much of your time on this stage. You should not give a very long presentation. You should give a presentation, but that should have 1 or 2 slide maximum. If you don't have any such slide that can give a precise information about you, your organization and your service offering, in just 1 or 2 slides you should have something like that, so that you can convey the entire messaging about your business organization, your weaknesses and strength, your service offerings, your product portfolio in just 1 or 2 slides maximum. Last but not the least, you should try to wrap up this particular stage of the technology selling discussion in 10 to 15 minutes maximum. So friends, this is the very first stage. When you start your discussion with any of the prospect customer, this is the very first stage you get into. So these are the things you should take care of, and these are the things you should avoid to make best out of this particular stage. Having said that, let's move to the next stage of the technology selling discussion or technology selling process, and that stage is discovery stage. Friends, this is the most important stage of any technology selling discussion or any technology selling process, because at the end of this stage you will be in a position to define the problem statement or the aspiration statement of the customer, because without that those statements you will not be able to offer your product or services to those customers. So as part of this phase of technology selling discussion or this stage of technology selling discussion, you should ask some relevant questions to your prospect customers. You should ask questions to have holistic understanding of their business organization, because on their own your customer may not be talking about everything that you need to know, but as a salesperson you need to know the business organization of your customer from holistic point of view. You need to have the full circle information about their business organization. So you need to ask certain questions that will help you have the holistic understanding of your prospect customer business organization. You should also ask problem and aspirations related questions, because on some of the occasions your customer might be having some problems that they want to solve, but on some occasions your customer might not be having any problem, but they might have some aspirations taking care of their future vision, and they want those aspirations to be fulfilled with the help of your product and services. So you need to ask some questions to uncover the problems of the customers or the aspirations of your customers. You should not stop here only. You should also ask some implication questions. I mean, what implications your customers are having due to those problems? What implication your customers are having uh, till the time their aspirations are not fulfilled? So you need to ask some implication questions so that you can understand that how your customer is suffering, how much they are losing in their game due to lack of a particular uh, solution in place. After asking all these questions, you should articulate some problem or aspiration statements, and you should summarize those statements to your customer and ask for their confirmation. You should not conclude the problem or aspiration statements unless they are confirmed by the customer. Once your problem or aspiration statements are confirmed by the customer, then uh, you should ask about their implementation priority, their implementation timeline, and also the implementation budget. These questions are important. These questions will help you understand that how important those problems or those priorities are for your customer. So you should ask that when your customer would like to put the implementation in place, or what are the timeline they have in their mind, or do they have required budget in place or not, because all this information will help you plan the rest of your sales efforts. So do ask these questions as part of your discovery process. During entire discovery process, you may or may not be recording the discovery call, but irrespective of recording or no recording, you must take notes. Whatever key input your customer is talking about or giving it during discovery call, you must make note of it so that you can those information can be in front of your eyes, and you can drive the discovery calls from start to the end, referring to those notes in front of you. Because if a recording is going on, all these things might not be in your mind, and you might miss some of the things that you need to ask to your customer right during the discovery call. So never forget taking notes. At the end of the discovery call, try to fix the very next meeting with your customers so that you can take your customer to the third phase of the technology selling process. So friends, these are the things you need to take care of while talking to your customer in the second phase of the technology selling process, and that is the discovery stage of the technology selling process. Now, some of the things you need to avoid, and the very first thing you need to avoid is, you should, as a salesperson, you should never have any discovery call without any subject matter expert. By subject matter expert, I mean the subject matter expert of the technology concern. Because before having this any kind of sales discussion, you must be having some indication from your customer that what your customer is going to need. So you need to have either one or two SMEs based on that probability. You should not ask too many questions. That answer is available publicly on internet for that particular customer. Usually people ask too many questions related to customer business organization, like oh, where is their headquarters, how many offices they have, how many employees they are having, what are their revenue. All this information are easily available on internet, so you should avoid asking all these questions, because let me tell you, customers hate answering these questions, because once in technology market, they talk to lots and lots of people, and they have to answer these questions again and again. So if these questions are asked by too many technology sellers or technology services sellers, a customer doesn't like at all answering these questions. On the other hand, answer to these questions are easily available on internet, on their website, and many other public facing places. So try to get those answers from those places, and if you want to confirm those information, ask confirmatory questions to your prospect customers. Do not expect them to explain everything from end to end. Next thing that you need to avoid is do not spend too much of your time on holistic understanding of the customer. As I said, that you must have holistic understanding of your prospect customer, but you should not spend too much of time, because giving you holistic understanding of their business organization is not the objective of your prospect customer. Your prospect customer is more worried about their problems. They are more worried about the aspirations that they want to fulfill. So you should ask holistic understanding questions, but they should be limited in number. And the last thing that you need to avoid during this stage of technology selling process is you should not start offering solution to stated problems or aspirations. Many people, many subject matter experts or salespeople, the moment they hear customer problems, they start offering solutions right during the discovery call. So let me tell you, at this stage, you should avoid offering solutions to stated problems or aspirations of the customer. So friends, this is what you should do during the discovery phase. So if I summarize the entire objective of this phase in one line, and then that objective is to define the problem statement or the aspiration statement of the customer concern. This should be the only objective of this particular stage. Having said that, let's move to the very third stage of the technology selling process, and that stage is winning trust. After discovery, this is the second most important stage of entire technology selling process, because during this stage you will offer solution to your customer and you will try to win their trust that you are the best technology services or technology product provider to meet their expectation. So during this particular stage, you should prepare a business value oriented proposal in the form of a presentation. You should not prepare a 30 to 50 pages Word document. Instead, you should prepare a presentation that should have 10 slides maximum. While preparing the presentation, you need to take care of the sequential order of the information. First of all, you should mention the problem statement or the aspiration statement that you heard from the customer. Then you should mention how you are going to offer solution to those problems, or how you are going to offer solution to meet those customer expectations. The third slide of yours should have the business value. What business value you are going to add via your solution. And in the last, you should talk about the cost structure, that how much you are going to charge your customer in terms of money for your solution. So this is how you should organize your information in your presentation. You should also keep a dedicated slide to mention your differentiator. This is very, very important, because you must help your customer understand how differentiated you are from rest of your competitors, and how, as far as this particular solution is concerned, how your solution is going to be differentiated from rest of your competition. You should have a dedicated slide for this as part of your proposal presentation. Before you go ahead and present your proposal to your customer, you must align all your internal stakeholders and take their approval. And then you should go to your customer and present your proposal. During presentation, you should take a pause for 30 seconds to 1 minute after every slide, and ask customer to have any questions and give you certain feedbacks. You should not keep moving slide after slide and expect customer questions in the end. This is not a right way to present any business proposal to any of the prospect customer. You should, after every slide, you should take a pause, ask for customer questions or feedbacks for that particular slide concern, and after resolving taking care of their feedbacks or after answering their questions, you should move to the next slide. The next thing you need to take care is you should try to fix another meeting for unanswered questions. Or if your customer is having too many feedbacks, then you should set up another meeting to take care of the very third stage of your sales process or technology sales process, that is winning trust, so that you can make changes in your proposal as per the customer feedbacks. And you should also bring changes to answer their questions, right? You should not try to solve each of their questions or take care of each of their feedback right during the live call, right? The last but the most important thing that you need to take care during this entire process is you should make your main customer point of contact as well versed as you can for your proposal. Friends, let me tell you, this is very, very important, because in technology selling, the actual selling job is done by this person. I mean, the main point of contact from your prospect customer side is going to be the actual seller for your particular technology or product, because you will hand over your proposal to those people or that person, and that person will be navigating across his or her own organization or into various offices, various tables, and try to convince those people to put their signature on your proposal so that your sales process can move to the next stage. That's why you need to keep that person as educated as you can for your proposal concern. You need to make that person as aware as you can, so that that person can take care of all the queries, all the questions, all objections that might arise within his own organization for your proposal. So if I summarize in one line, then you need to better educate your customer point of contact, your main customer point of contact, so that he can fight your own battle within his own organization. Now, some of the things you need to avoid during this particular stage of technology selling process is you should not articulate your business value additions as qualitative statements. Your business value additions must always be articulated or mentioned in quantitative statement. You must indicate things in numbers, that how much your customer will be getting or benefited post implementation of your solution. You should not tell the cost of your solution right in the beginning, because it happens that the moment you start your presentation, one particular person or few of them from your customer side ask about the cost because they are in a hurry. You should not tell the cost right away. First of all, you should mention about your value addition, and then you should talk about the cost. The third thing you should try to avoid during this particular stage is you should not try to answer all the questions of your customers during the live call. If there are things that you are not sure of, there are things that you need to take input from other departments or some of your team members or some of your seniors, feel free to get back to those questions by having a separate call, maybe a follow-up call on this, right? And the last thing that you need to take care of is at the end of this particular stage, every salesperson try to push the customer to get into the next phase. But while selling technology, product or services, you should not do it. You should set up a follow-up call with the customer. You should not try to force the customer to know their consent, that how much, whether they liked your proposal or they did not like your proposal. You should not ask this thing right during the sales call. You should you should give some days of your time to your customers, set up a follow-up meeting maybe after 2 or 3 days or maybe a week later, and try to know their consent. This is the right process while trying to do any technology selling to any of your prospect customer. Friends, having said that, let's move to the next stage of technology selling process, and this is the fourth and the last stage of technology selling process, and I call it contract sign off. Now, if your customer is ready and you have already resolved all their objections, questions, and feedbacks, then you should gently ask your customer to submit a contract for their signature. While preparing or articulating your contract, you must align your proposal and the contract. Whatever commitment you made in your proposal, everything will be well articulated in detail in your contract. There should not be any discrepancy. As part of your contract, you should offer some discount for your customer to have their time-bound signature. What I mean is, in your contract, you should give some kind of discount to your customer that if they sign this particular contract maybe in a week or 10 days, you will be giving them this much of discount. This makes the customer to take the decision on your contract as soon as possible. The only thing that you need to take care of or avoid as part of this particular stage is you should never get into this phase unless you resolve each question, each objection, or each feedback of your customer. Whatever objections they raise, whatever questions they ask, or whatever feedback they give, unless all these things are not solved or not resolved, you should never get into this particular stage of the technology selling process. So friends, these are the four stages of technology selling process. So at any given point of time, as I said in the beginning, knowingly or unknowingly, you will be in any of these stages. So as a salesperson, at the end of every meeting with any of your prospect customer, you should ask yourself a question. Are you moving forward along these stages, or you are getting stuck at one stage? If you are getting stuck, that means you must introspect your sales strategy and you must do something to move forward. Because if you are getting stuck and revolving in a continuation around one particular stage, that means you are not making progress along your sales process. Friends, hope this video is going to be very, very informational for you, and whatever I spoke across all these four stages of technology selling process, I hope you will make best use of this information during your sales meeting. Having said that, I wish you a good luck, all the best. Thank you very much.